What's up, guys and gals? This is Ryan Games. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Omen Trainer and running some tier 6 missions, so that you can just get a feel for how to do it and see how to tank the missions, basically. Oh, I think I'm warping in already. Oh, no, I'm not. Okay. We're one jump out. Let's just pause this for a moment and let's take a look at our fitting. So what I did was I went with pulse cannons, or pulse lasers I should say, medium pulse lasers, because we're going to be just warping straight in and tanking all the damage and putting out our DPS. So I've got 4 pulse lasers. We've got 2 medium NAS, Mark 5, everything's Mark 5. So it shouldn't be too hard to get. These are probably the most expensive at 800,000 a piece, but they are needed. So yeah, the pulse lasers are cheap. The medium armor repairs, there are 2 of those. Those are cheap. And then the Mark 5 afterburner, this should be cheap too. Yeah, 45,000, cheap. So really the NAS is the only thing that's expensive, and I forgot to equip a drone. So if you can see here, our DPS is only 126, which is really low. My Caracal Navy issue puts out about 335, just to give you a comparison. Okay, but my skills are not great for medium lasers. So if you take a look, if you want to know my story, I was focusing on lasers, and then I heard everyone saying, oh, the Caracal's so awesome, the Caracal's so awesome, and I was doing T6 missions, but I couldn't advance to tier 7 missions. And so I said, you know what, I'm switching to missiles because I want to make that baby. So I only have medium laser operation to 4 and advanced medium to 4. And no medium laser upgrades, so you could definitely have better DPS than me. And then some of the other skills that I do have that are pretty good are all of my other skills that relate to like cruiser command. Cruiser command, advanced cruiser command are both at 4. Afterburner is only at 4. I don't even have advanced afterburner trained yet. I probably should do that. Maintenance technology, armor rep is only at 4, and then advanced is at 3. So, that's reasonable that you could be sitting at that. And then my engineering is probably going to be way better than yours at 4 and 3. Electronic systems 2, target management 3, and that's it. So those are pretty much my skills as far as this build's concerned. So let's get into it. So I rearranged my overview here, or my weapons. So I have all my weapons stacked, and then I put my 2 medium afterburn, or not afterburners, my 2 armor repairers on the bottom with my NAS. And so I'm just warping in straight to 0. And we'll take a look. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on targeting the largest ships. We're going to target them and put our NAS on them, and we're going to orbit, okay? And we're going to activate our afterburner and go as fast as we can, circling around them. And then we're going to take out the smallest ships to the largest ships. So we're going to take out the frigates, the destroyers, then the cruisers. In tier 6 missions, we shouldn't have that many. Like, this is one of the bigger ones, so this will test us to the limit. So the first thing I did was I targeted that MOA, put our NAS on it, and set our orbit. Then I selected the smaller targets and locked onto those. So our shield's dropping quick, but that's okay, we're an armor tank. Our armor's dropping pretty quick too, which is concerning to me. Whew! I almost had a heart attack, guys. Our range... What? Our range is roughly 16, so we should be okay. My hands are very sweaty. I haven't done a run like this in an Omen Trainer in a very long time, so... So now that we've taken out a couple of the ships, our tank's holding pretty well. I disabled one of the armor repairs just to see how we do. Yeah, and we're holding our tank fine. So we're just taking out this last cormorant. Yeah. And then we'll take out the MOAs. Let's take a look at what this was. Okay. That was nerve-wracking at the beginning. I'm like, is our tank gonna hold? Is it gonna hold? And it held. So the next wave is gonna be another gut-wrencher. Let's disable our afterburner and see if our damage, if we start taking way more damage. We are taking more damage. Not a whole heck of a lot, but enough to see that having the afterburner running is helping us. So I'll just let that recoup, and then by the time we get to the next MOA, we should be okay. What I'm trying to do is maintain my cap, because I don't want it to drop too low for the next wave, because when the next wave comes, we need to be quick, because you saw how fast our armor was dropping, and we don't have that shield buffer that we had there before, so we definitely don't want to go into structure. We may go into structure, but we don't want to. Like, we want to avoid that if possible. Overall, how would I say this runs compared to the Caracal Trainer? You know, it's been so long since I've done a Caracal. I never had a Caracal Trainer, actually. I went straight from an Omen Trainer, and I earned enough ISK doing tier 6 missions to hop straight into the Caracal. Like, so I never had the trainer, so I'm not sure how it works. But the Caracal can do these no problem. But you have 4 slots in the lows. Like, if we had another slot, we could have... What could we put on there? We could do like a heatsink, or we could put something else on there, like a cat battery or something. I'd probably do a heatsink, to be honest, because our damage is so low right now. But look at this, we're doing fine here. Let's go ahead and deactivate our afterburner, and let's pray that we have enough tank to tank this. Basically, I'm trying to get my cap back up while still maintaining full armor, because when the next wave spawns here in a second, we are going to be in for a world of hurt. You know what? Maybe what we could do if we had a regular Omen is keep the same fit, except put on one more, put on like an adaptive hardener or some kind of armor hardener to give us more resistance, and then we would take less damage on these missions. That's probably what I would do. Okay, here comes the next spawn, people. We gotta be quick. We got to take out the frigs first. Those caracals hit tough, like they hit hard. So I messed up there. At the very beginning, I should have manually targeted the caracal so that we could put our Nas on it. If you noticed, I didn't do that at first, which was a big mistake. But our tank seems to be holding up. Hopefully we get this mana core. We're not doing a whole lot of damage, and I think it's because of our tracking. We might have been better off putting a tracking computer to take out these mana cores, or a web, one Nas and one web, because look, we're doing no damage here. So I switched targets to the Cormorant that we were doing before. So if we can take this down and maintain our tank, we'll be in a better position. I'm stopping our afterburner because I'm worried about running out of cap. We definitely need to maintain our weapons and our armor repairs. So once we get this Corax down, we should be good to go. Oh, I don't know. We're taking a lot more damage. I turned our afterburner back on. So this is pretty tough. Like, we are not doing great. I would say this is probably the hardest hit I've been in a mission in quite some time. What we could do is warp to a station, repair, and fill up our energy, and then come back and finish it off. But my goal is to not have, like, I don't want to have to warp out. So if we can take this Cormorant down, yeah, we are doing no damage to that mana core. I don't know what happened, but we stopped taking like so much damage. So we're in a much better spot right now. I guess taking out that last Corax really helped us DPS wise. From like an incoming DPS perspective. So yeah, we'll be able to take down this mana core pretty shortly. But it's taken a long time. On missiles, it's literally 2 shots for me to take out any frig, except elite frigs. Elite frigs will take me a while, but yeah, with this, you might need to pack a you might need to, I don't know what I was saying, but I was targeting the MOA, but it's so far out of our range that I figure we'll just take out the Caracal first. I mean, we're tanking this fine now, so we don't have to really worry. And it's pretty much over. I don't think there's another wave. If there is, help me, because that was tough. That last one, we got low into armor. I mean, I thought we were going to go into structure. I thought I was going to have to warp out, to be honest. But we made it. But yeah, you normally won't get as many ships as that on these encounters, so you should be good to go. And if you have to warp out once, it's not the worst thing in the world. But be warned, I do have pretty good tanking skills, as far as like I've got my cruiser command skills up, so I'm getting bonuses to our armor repair, I believe. Let's look at our ship info. Oh no, I'm not getting any bonuses to armor on the trainer, so all I'm getting is inertia modifier, which just means that I can move a little bit more nimbly than you might be able to. But let's take a look in here at our cruiser skills. Yeah, so this just affects velocity. That's not, I mean, that's a little bit important, but it's not super important. So if your shield operation is about what mine is, 4 and 4, oh wait, not shield, armor, I'm at 4 and 3, then you should be pretty good. But let's look at my defense upgrades. So I've got plus 400 shield, 375 armor, and 250 structure. And then here I've got 15% to shield and 10% to armor. And that's pretty good. You probably won't have this, so you might actually go into structure. Let's go ahead and orbit this guy. And let's just pop our afterburner one time, just to take us back in range. Yeah, so overall, I think we did pretty well for this encounter. I feel like we should do one more, just to see if we got lucky with this one, or if it really was as hard as it felt it was. But your DPS is definitely going to be higher than 126. Like, unless you're just getting in, yeah, your DPS is going to be higher, because you should be able to train the advanced laser upgrades. All right, this is the moment of truth. Okay, we finished. Whew! I'm just checking to see. So that was only a 500,000 ISK encounter, which is on the low end. So to me, that suggests that maybe we got lucky with the mission. Maybe the other missions are a little bit harder. I'm going to warp to the next location, and we're going to try it out. What I might do, though, in the future for this build is we might go after the destroyers first, take out the destroyers because we can track them, and then go for the frigs. Because if we're wasting like 7-8 shots on the frigs, maybe even more shots than that, then we're wasting our DPS and we're just taking damage while we're trying to kill those. Whereas if we take out the destroyers, we're going to be dropping our damage by a lot more, and we're not going to be wasting shots. Once we have the destroyers down, then we can move to the frigs, and probably putting a tracking computer, if you have similar issues with tracking frigs, might be the way to go if you have an Omen, because you have that 4th slot open, and we seem to be doing okay on the tank. Like, we didn't drop below 25%, I don't think, and that's pretty good, I'd say. I mean, it's not great. I'd rather be at like 90% the whole time, but it is what it is. If we don't drop into structure, we're golden, because we don't have to pay a repair cost. So this is going to be a Minmatar one. We did a Caldari previously. This next one's going to be Minmatar. So I personally find Caldari to be the hardest. Everyone tells me Caldari's the easiest, but for whatever reason, Caldari always seems to be the hardest for me. Well, that's not true. If we go to Tier 7, Amar Elites, they have an elite battle cruiser, a Harbinger, that will literally take you like, I'm a shield tank with 2 shield boosters running, and it will take my shield down to like halfway in 1 or 2 shots. So it's tough. And so for that one, you need to kite it at like 40 kilometers at least in order to maintain your tank. And that one's tough. And that's a Mar. So that for me is the hardest thing I've run across. So we just made 500 plus 300,000, so about 800,000 within the span of like, I didn't time this, but we've only been recording for 20 minutes, so let's say 15 minutes it took us to clear that. So 800,000 every 15-20 minutes, that's pretty good. I could definitely do better in my Caracal Navy issue, but that ship's 200 mil. This cost us like 10 mil or something. I mean, really, the only thing that cost money was the ship itself plus the 2 NAWs. Those were roughly like $1.5 million, and the ship was, let's see what I paid for the ship. I paid $5,800,000, so that's 6, 7, 13, 7 mil 300,000 ish. Sorry if my math was wrong.
Warp drive active.
And if we can make 800,000 every 20 minutes, you know, it won't take that long to make that IS back. And if you're Omega, you're going to get this ship for free. And don't fret if you got this one and you're thinking, oh, I should get a Caracal now. Well, you probably should. But maybe not. Like, I know there are quite a few people in my corporation that are running Maulers, which is like the step up from an Omen. Like, instead of getting the Omen Navy issue, you would get a Mauler, or vice versa. And so the tank on that is supposedly just absolutely beastly. I haven't personally used it, so I don't know. But, you know, people do run a Mars, so don't think you have to fly what everyone else is telling you to fly. And that was really the point of this video, is to make it so if you're flying an Omen Trainer and you're having a difficult time running tier 5 missions or tier 6, well, you can watch this video and then use the same kind of skills that we're using here to do tier 5 until you're comfortable running it, and then move up to tier 6, and then if you need to warp out, you can warp out, you know. Do tier 5 while you're training your skills up, and you're still going to make like 250, maybe 250 to 400, I can't remember, it's been a while, per 20-minute cycle. And it's not great, but if that's all you can do, it's excellent. You know what I mean?
Warp drive active.
And the nice thing about doing those is you need to do the tier 5s anyway, even once you're like at my level, in order to do all the storyline missions. So let me just show you. If we go to encounters and go to story, let me close out. Go to encounters and then story, and then see how like Mega Corporation, if you click on that and you see all these missions that I've completed, well, some of these are going to be tier 5 missions. So if we go over to our encounters and look, like, see the 90,000 95,000.
Warp drive active.
Those are all missions that I've done. See the check marks next to the racial symbol? That means I've done those. So you still need to do those in order to get those storyline arcs. And then once you complete a storyline, I don't have any done right now, but you click on it and you accept it and you get like a little item. And you can sell that item for like 10 million ISK, or maybe more, or maybe a little less, depending on which one you get. Or you can run it with your corporation. But the point is you still need to do tier 5, so don't feel like, oh, I'm wasting my time, I should be doing tier 6s. Like, you still need to do some of the tier 5s. Alright, we're here. And something you could do in your corp is say, hey, I'm in a, Omen Trainer. Is anyone running tier 6 missions? Like, we can split everything and do that. And then you can alternate. Like, I'll do a tier 6 on yours, and then we'll do a tier 6 for mine. That way you both get bounties. Or if you're Omega, you can just run a whole bunch and then contract the other person some of the ISK from the bounty rewards. That's what I do personally. I'll say, okay, let's form a fleet. I don't like doing this, but I do it to help people out. And then we'll go run a... Oh my god, there's so many ships. Holy sh... There are so many freaking ships here. I thought that was like random. I thought we were just going to have 4 ships on all of these. Yeah, we're doing no damage to those, so we need to take out the Thrashers. And I'm just going to start the armor repairs right now, because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if we're going to drop like crazy or what. But I'm taking out this Thrasher. Let me tap my screen there. 78 damage. I mean, we're doing like, we're literally doing no damage. That might just be because of my weapons. That might not be because we need to web them. So we'll just keep at it and see what happens. Man, I gotta tell you though, this is very nerve-wracking. I think personally, if they're all this hard, I think I would stick to T5 and just bust those out until I can upgrade to an Omen or... Yeah, I mean, it's just so difficult compared to my ship. So I feel you guys if you're running these and you're having a hard time. But, yeah. I mean, our tank hasn't failed yet, so that's the good news. But we are going down. Hopefully once we take this Thrasher out, but we're doing so little damage. It's driving me nuts. Okay, that was a good hit. 248, that was a good hit. Alright, we must have been like too close or something. That was a crappy hit. I'm hoping for like 200s, 300 hits, but we're at 89. This guy can't die fast enough. Okay, there we go. Alright, the shield went down quick, but that's normal with the Mard. Oh, 304. That's what I like to see, baby. Come on. 388, yes! We must be in our optimal range right now. That must be why we couldn't take out the frigs. We have to be in our optimal range, which is 12. So let me set my orbit to 12. 11. I set it to 11. So we'll circle at a greater rate, and all I did was I clicked on my ship and I set my custom orbit. You just click and hold and then drag to where you want it. So yeah, our tank's okay right now. And we're getting some decent loot, you know. We're doing no damage. Oh my goodness. We really need a web, but we also need the NOS. So I don't think I would replace the NOS with the web, even though we really need it. We cannot drop the second armor rep. Like, we just can't do it. We need it. There's no way we could do this with one armor rep. We might be able to do it without the afterburner, but I don't know. You saw what happened when we turned off our afterburner. It was dropping pretty quickly. So, yeah, I think we keep our afterburner. I just think we keep this same setup and just know that let's drop our afterburner so that we're taking more. Oh, we need to be in 8 to get the juice. That's why I had it set at 8. We have to be in 8 because of the NOS, not because of our weapons. 8 plus 4, but optimal is 8, so that's why I had it set to 8. I thought it was just a mistake, but I think that's perfectly okay. We'll just orbit at 8. Oh, I have both our armor reps still going. Well, we need them. We need them. Why I'm so concerned right now is our cap is so low. Like, we need way more cap when the next wave spawns, or we're going to be in a little bit of trouble. So we'll take out this rupture, and then we'll go to the next rupture. What I like to do, guys, is if you can see on the screen here, see how there's a Gistum rupture, and then a Gistum rupture trainer. I like to circle the regular rupture, whatever ship's like the biggest. So if we had like a faction rupture, then we would be going with the faction rupture. Because my thinking is, like, the higher quality ship, the more cap it has, and the more cap that we can take off from it. So I popped our afterburner once just to get us in range, and I turned it off, and I'm hoping that we can turn off one of our armor repairs and build up some cap, because if not, we're going to have to warp out. Like, that's just all there is to it. I think the rupture trainer is just too fast for us to orbit it without popping the afterburner. Guys, we're gonna have to warp out. You know what we can do? We'll drop it pretty low on the oh crap. Oh goodness. I'm orbiting the Bellicose. And now I'm turning our NOS on. And I'm popping our everything. I'm just praying that this freaking frigate dies in the next shot, which it didn't. You know what, guys? We're gonna warp out.
Warp drive active.
We may not have needed to, but our cap is so bad right now. Like, it's so bad. So I'm gonna repair, So we're fully repaired now. We're going to dock. It's going to repair our shields. It's going to boost our cap all the way up. We're lucky that there's a station in this system. Sometimes you won't have stations, so you won't be able to do this, but we're going to do it. We're going to dock sometime soon. Come on. You can do it. So we're going to dock, and then we're going to warp back in. What is going on? Dock, man. You don't need to hang out in there. Just dock. Oh, look at that. Our cap's back to full. We go back to our cosmic anomaly. We're going to warp in. Put our mission back on. And,
Warp drive active.
I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to definitely orbit the Bellicose and put our NAS on. I don't know if we should try to take out the frigs or the destroyers first. We'll just play it by ear. I'll see how I feel. Alright, so what I did was I warped in, I manually locked the Bellicose, which is a cruiser. I set the orbit. I popped the afterburner and the NAS, and our, you know what? I probably shouldn't have popped our armor repairs so soon. And then I targeted the Tower, which is a destroyer, to kill that destroyer. Hopefully before we go into armor, which we won't. And then I'm going to take out the other destroyer. And then after the destroyer, I'm going to do the frig, and then the two Bellicose. Hopefully, without warping out again. I think warping out, I mean, it feels like a little bit of defeat, but it's just normal. Like, in such a early ship and with low skills, you may just have to warp out and repair, or warp out and regain your cap. And so that's what we did. I feel okay about it. I mean, it didn't take that long, to be honest. And now our tank's holding fine. Hopefully this was the last wave. If there's another wave, I don't think there's another wave. Let's go ahead and pop one of our armor repairs off and just see how our tank is holding up. But look how long it's taking to kill this frig. I mean, it is ridiculous. I wish I could see its speed. Well, you know what? Screw it. We're not going to waste our ammo on it. I know there's no ammo, but we're not going to waste our weapon cycles on it, because we want to kill stuff. We don't want to just orbit and look pretty. Our tank is holding with one armor rep. You know, we might be able to put a hardener on instead of the... You know, I think if I was running an Omen, I don't know. I'd have to test with a tracking computer and see how much... Is there even a tracking computer? Hold on, let's take a look. Let's hope we don't die while we're doing this. Weapon upgrades. Yeah, so there is a tracking computer. It's pretty cheap. Our cap's dropping. Our capacitor is dropping low. So there is a tracking computer. If I don't know if it's going to help take out the destroyers. If it helps with the destroyers and the frigates, I would definitely use a tracking a tracking computer, because I like taking out the frigs, because these frigs aren't webbing us, but a lot of frigs do web, and so that would just help out a lot by being able to kill those frigates in, like, instead of 10-20 hits, like 4 or 5 hits. You know what I mean? And even 4 or 5 is like crazy to think about to me because of my ship that I'm in, but in one of these early ships, that might just be the norm. And if we turn our afterburner off, we might be able to hit that frigate better. We'll try after this one. So I switched orbits right before we killed it to the other bellicose. I'm going to turn off our afterburner. We're still doing like very minimal damage to this thing. 0. I don't think we're going to be able to kill it, to be honest. We're using pulse lasers, right? Guys, missiles are so much better in my opinion, because you don't deal with this. Well, I guess you do if you're using medium missiles, but I use rapids and I can kill these things so easily. I'm tempted to do a Omen Trainer and just test it out, but my missile skills are so good that it wouldn't be a fair comparison. Watch, look at my missile skills compared. So for laser, I've got 2 skills. Maybe if you had the medium advanced medium, I'm just trying to see if they have tracking on here anywhere. Nope. Yeah, so if you had advanced medium at 4, you would have a little bit better tracking. But look at my missiles. They're both at 4. Medium missiles to 4. Plus, I bought the expert thinking that I only needed the advanced to 4. And then I have advanced, or the medium, or missile upgrades. I have those to 4 as well. So if I went into... look at this. We still can't kill this thing. Well, let's screw it. Let's kill the bellicose, and then we'll come back to it. I mean, we're tanking so easily right now that I'm just gonna go grab this loot from this container. So this is a 550. I'm tempted to try a 700. Do we have one? We've got a 750. This video is already 45 minutes. I don't think I want to do another one. So we're pretty much done once we kill these last 2 ships. And then that's it. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and we'll just kind of hang out until these are all done, and then we'll try to kill this Vigil E-War frigate. What I'm thinking is if we burn away from it with our afterburner, we'll have better trajectory on it, and we might be able to kill it better. So watch, we'll see where it is, and then we'll like go off in this direction and burn. Burn, baby, burn. So if you're not sure what I did there, what happens is with pulse lasers or any kind of weapon that uses tracking like a cannon or something, if something's orbiting it at a fast speed, right, your cannons can't track it. So it's like you're firing but you keep missing because it's too fast. Whereas if we burn away, so it's orbiting us, right, and we burn, and then it starts to go like this. Instead of orbiting like this, it's trying to follow us. And so when it's following us, we go, pew, and it blows up. That's why we were able to kill it so easily. So that's something that we might have been able to play with, but when you're farming, you just want to be able to sit there and tank everything and kill everything. At least that's how I want to play. I don't like having to like manually control and fly and stuff, but ideally that's what we should have done probably in this mission. So that was good. I liked it. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and leave those comments. And if you want me to try out another ship, well, I'm not going to skill into hold on, let's see what I got here. I've got medium cannons to 4. So technically I could do a stabber, but it wouldn't do a stabber justice. Just like I'm probably not doing the Omen justice, but my point is, if you're flying this ship, you can do T6. You just need to fit it right and know what you're doing, and I think this video should have helped you with that. So without further ado, that's the end. I'm Ryan. I'm signing out. See you next time.